Eagles fans, I hope you didn't get too attached to last year's defense because we're seeing what's amounting to a mass exodus in the free agent market, Marshall.
Yeah, starters on the ball, off the ball, and in the secondary last season have all found new homes. We'll discuss whether we'll be able to replace these key cogs in the Vic Fangio defense and this machine for the love of Broad Street.
For the love of Broad Street, welcome back to the show. I'm Jake. That's Marshall. Last episode, we discussed some of those key players we really wanted to see back in Eagle Green, Marshall. Unfortunately, I've come to the realization I don't think Howie Roseman is listening to the podcast, which is a shame on multiple fronts.
Yeah.
But mostly because you identified we got to bring back Nakobe Dean, right? We got to bring back Nakobe Dean. He's an important cog when he's playing. We're a better team. And yeah, he's gone now.
Boom.
He's gone.
Signed with the Raiders.
On the Raiders.
The other player that we were thinking we needed to bring back, Edge, Jalen Phillips. Where did he go, Jake?
Panthers. He's gone. And by the way, they paid him an egregious amount of money.
They did, yes.
$120 million.
Unreal.
He's a good player.
No doubt.
$120 million. That is insane.
That is.
I mean, like, that is a team that's like, yeah, we got cap. Who cares?
Yeah.
Throw it at that guy.
Why not?
And you know, I question. I understand that the Panthers made the playoffs, but they were playing with a last place schedule.
Yep.
Now they're playing with a first place schedule.
Yeah.
And they just blew $120 million on one guy.
Yeah, I guess
just...
their calculus is a little different, Jake, because you're still playing the NFC South, which is probably the weakest division in football. So I mean, they literally backed into the playoffs.
Yeah,
like this was not a team that was going to go far, and they got pretty handily shellacked. But I saw this as a possibility, just given that Edge is so thin, right? The market for edge rushers right now just feels really thin, and Jalen Phillips is one of the hotter guys out there. You know, the craziness that was the Max Crosby rug pull by the Ravens, I think probably it didn't necessarily factor into the Jalen Phillips decision, but you know, it just shows how volatile those transactions can be. And you know, I think on the list here of the people that we have lost, the one that really stands out that might come back to bite the Eagles the most to me is Reed Blankenship, losing him to the Texans. I don't think that the Eagles have a strong safety on the roster that they can go to immediately. We don't know. You know, I haven't really heard reports about Andrew Makuba's health, but coming back in his second season, coming off of injury like that, he was such a stabilizing force, Reed Blankenship, in this secondary, in the back end of this defense. And to see him walk like that or see him go like that was really disheartening for me, knowing that he didn't command that high of a dollar amount at all. It just didn't sit well that's the result that we got. But you know, this is something that the Eagles are going through right now. They have to reinvent themselves yet again. It's going to be interesting to see what Howie pulls off for the rest of the offseason. Who stuck out? Who hurt the most to you, Jake?
Well, honestly, it was Reed Blankenship, and I think looking back, I think we could have seen it coming.
Yeah,
because a few days before the Reed Blankenship deal, we heard that Michael Carter got a renegotiated contract.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a little odd. I was like, why are we, but he is apparently being worked out at slot corner and safety.
Got it. Yeah.
I wonder if they identified that, Blankenship's going to go. This is our new guy. I think that might have been what transpired. Whether or not you agree with that, I don't know if I buy it. But I think that's what went down. And it's a shame because, like you said, like the Reed Blankenship deal was not egregious.
No.
24 million for 3 years.
Yeah.
8 million. I mean, that's not even top 20 in his position.
Right. And I think he's overperforming for where he was, where
Right.
he was undrafted, right? And
Right. Middle Tennessee State, like
yeah, you're getting a lot of value out of that player, and you've gotten a lot of value out of that
right.
player. I would have liked to see in this case, and I know Howie is good about knowing when maybe the career trajectory is on the decline, right? And
Right.
I don't know that that's the case for a Reed Blankenship right now. It
Yeah.
feels like there's still some ascension, or he might be approaching the pinnacle of his career here. I understand that the Eagles might need to get younger, get cheaper. We can talk about a contract that they just signed that's going to be a significant one. Actually, a couple contracts that are relatively significant. But I, I, I don't know. You're right, Jake. It might just be that they felt like they had too many of these guys on the roster and guys under contract, and how we did a lot of wheeling and dealing in the back end of last year, and just trying to make that sense in the balance sheet. I guess this is a kind of a cap casualty in a way for the Eagles.
Right. I also want to touch on the tight end situation.
Yeah,
So going into free agency, all three of our tight ends were free agents, which is
yeah,
really weird.
yeah.
I don't know if I ever remember that happening, at least in with the Eagles. So as of right now, Goddard remains unsigned.
Right.
We brought back Grant Calcaterra,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which I found odd.
Strange. Yeah. And
And then we signed Johnny Munt,
yeah,
who is like a glorified sixth offensive lineman, basically. He's like
right.
an old school tight end. Like this
Yeah,
guy's a run blocker,
yeah.
which makes me question if if we're even looking at bringing back Goddard. It,
I
it
know.
almost
I
feels to
know.
me like they're going, yeah, never mind. We got Calcaterra's like a glorified wide receiver,
Right.
and this Munt guy is a glorified lineman. So there's I get your either end of the spectrum of tight end. Do they even bring back Goddard? Maybe they just look at Munt as a purely just like goal line package kind of guy, and we are still looking at Goddard, but it's very fishy the timing that we
Yeah.
immediately went and got Calcaterra locked down without. And again, it's not like we have all the behind closed doors
Insight.
inside
Yeah.
look, but
Yeah.
just from what we know, we locked down our backup tight end and
Yeah.
another backup tight end. Marshall, he's pacing, guys. This is
This
a
one's a tough one for me, honestly, Jake. This one's a hard one to think about right now. I don't know what they're doing at tight end, and that makes me uncertain about the future of this Eagles organization, because you got to remember, Jake, this is an organization that has gone from, we talked about it last episode. This is an organization that has gone from, well, let's go way back, Chad Lewis, right? Go
whoa.
from Chad
There's a
Lewis.
blast from the past.
I said we're going way back, Jake. This is an organization that's gone from Chad Lewis to LJ Smith, Eagles Super Bowl appearing LJ Smith scored a
Yeah.
touchdown on that Super Bowl against the Patriots that they should have won. To Brent Selleck, one of the best tight ends in the league. From
Yep.
Brent Selleck to Zach Ertz.
Zach
From
Ertz.
Zach Ertz to Dallas Goedert.
How's
All right.
Goddard? Yeah.
That is stability at a position like I have almost never seen in this league.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there are
Yeah.
always duds, right? There are always
Right.
duds in these draft processes. But the Eagles have not had a dud at tight end for the last 20 plus years. That is
Yeah.
insanity. Like since the late 90s, they haven't had a dud at tight end.
And you know what's strange is that how bad we've been at wideout.
Yeah. Can't
You know,
draft a
like,
wideout
it's
to
not-
save our
it's
lives.
not- It's not like
Jalen
that-
Rager, JJ
Right.
Arcega-Whiteside. Are you
It's
kidding
not
me?
Like it's not like we don't have the dud in us. You know,
Right.
like we've gotten our fair share of duds, but for whatever reason, whoever does the tight end scouting should be the highest paid scout in the league because he's
Honestly.
brilliant.
So, but this is my concern, Jake. You don't have a threat at tight end. You don't have a threat in the passing game. this was a double-digit touchdown performer for the Eagles last year. What are you doing to the stability at that position? That's it. I just see it as such a vital space. We look at the tight ends right throughout. I know that they aren't. They're more unsung than the wideouts. They don't have the flashy, gaudy numbers a lot of times, but like the wideouts. But think about the dynasties in this league, right? Over the course of the last 2 decades, what have they all had? The majority of them. Travis Kelce,
Yep.
Gronk.
Yep.
Like go back to Tony Gonzalez is kind of an outlier example, but even like the Jeremy Shockeys of the world, right? Like
Yeah.
these repeat performers, they all have solid tight ends on the roster. I think it's an important position because you got the blocking aspect, you've got that in Dallas Goedert's case, toss it to him out of the backfield or do a little pitch play like they did. If you don't have that in the red zone, the Eagles are a way, way less successful team in 2025 than they were. And it's not like they reached the heights that they wanted to, but that was single-handedly almost. Dallas Goedert was single-handedly almost keeping them in games. How could you just decide that you don't want to pay that guy, especially
Right.
at this stage of his career? I don't know. I don't think you're going to get. I haven't looked extensively at the draft and at the tight end market in the draft, but I don't think you're going to get a Dallas Goedert in the draft this year. That's my take.
Yeah, you're right, but it also, and you're right. I haven't looked at this year's draft either. But if you look back to last year, and it's not just like this for tight end; it's kind of like this for every position now. But you are getting these guys out of college that are NFL ready right from the start.
Yeah.
Which when we were kids, like that wasn't a thing. Like
No.
even some first round picks didn't play their first year when we were kids. And now it's like almost a given. Like if you get taken in the first round, you're probably going right from the get-go. And you look back to last year, you have guys like Tyler Warren out of Penn State blows it up for the Colts.
Right.
You get a guy like Colston Loveland for the Bears. Like I maybe it's a place that they're going to look in the draft. And tight end is one of those places where you find value in the draft. You can get really good guys in round 3, round 4. Maybe that's what they're thinking. But to your point, there's no Dallas Goedert in there,
No.
as far as I know.
No.
So it's just a tough one to swallow.
And then is it going to be tight end by committee then, Jake? Is it Munt is your guy? Is it Calcaterra is your guy? Do the Eagles really think?
Right now, it has to be, right?
Yeah.
Because neither of the Goddard's not the best blocker, but he can block. Calcaterra, from what I've seen, can't. He's a downfield tight end. And this Munt guy doesn't look like he's exactly gonna, light it up down the field. So it feels like coming off a season where we were frustratingly predictable.
Absolutely.
What's more predictable than if the run blocking tight ends in there, they're going to run it. And if the wide receiver type tight ends in there, they're going to throw it. Like that's just a recipe for disaster when you have an indicator for other teams. So I just really hope that we're going to look stupid in a week and they re-sign Goddard tomorrow. But I just, the timing feels odd to me.
It does. It does. Let's get into some of these other changes. And edge is a place that the Eagles are going to need to address right away. Azeez Ojulari, boom, out, gone. He's with the Falcons. Josh Uche, boom, out. He's with the Dolphins. And then I know that Okoronkwo is still there. Is he like? It just feels like a moot point.
If he doesn't come back, I'm not going to be devastated. But at the same time,
what are we doing?
Yeah, there's who's left in the room. It's like I don't know if they still do team workouts right now, but people are probably just looking around and they're like, guys, the defensive edge coach has no players to work with.
Yeah,
what do we do?
Right. Who are we going to? Can it be Brandon Graham again this year, Jake? I just feel like it can't be.
I mean,
at this stage,
30, what is he?
37, 37, 38?
Jeez. Like, that's elder abuse.
Yeah, honestly. 37 turning 38? Unreal.
I love him, but it was fun to have him last year where he'd play 1 out of every 10 snaps.
Right.
And that was fun. Right now, if the season were to begin right now, we need him to play every snap.
He'd have to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toss him in
So I,
there.
I don't, I really don't know. I don't know what's going on. And it's like it's very defense heavy
Right.
too, which is the part that I'm concerned about. Because like
Yeah.
we lost backup O lineman. We lost our third
Yep.
string quarterback who signed with the Cowboys, by the way. What a traitor.
Beautiful.
Um,
Well, he
we
was with
lost
the Commanders before, so you can't really
Yeah,
expect that much
true.
more.
Yeah, he's an NFC East journeyman.
Yeah.
We lost our third string wide receiver to the Falcons. Rest in peace, Jahan Dotson. But we
Rough.
didn't lose, apart from Goddard, who again we don't know yet.
Yeah.
We didn't lose super impactful guys on offense,
No.
but on defense, it just feels like all these guys that were making plays all year are all gone, and you're just going, oh boy, what are we gonna do next year?
Honestly,
It's a
Jake,
couch marsh.
I just, look, I feel like I need a therapist. I'll be
Yeah, well,
honest at this
I'm
stage.
with you.
I,
The problem is I'm too unstable to be your therapist, Marsh. We both need someone else.
yeah, I just got to take a second to just relax a little bit here. So I think that the two that are going to come out of this, and it's going to be hard to swallow for me. It's got to be Dean, and it's got to be
Yeah.
Reed Blankenship. I still think N'Kobe Dean is one of the best linebackers in the NFL when healthy,
Yeah.
which has always been a knock on him.
A question, yeah.
Understandably, I get the philosophy being, hey, we gotta get younger here, and we have Campbell who's waiting in the wings, and we have Zach
Right.
Bond signed to a big contract. We don't see it as much of as much of a drop off going from or Dean to Campbell, but I still think it was night and day. I'm not saying that Campbell was bad. We need him to develop, right? But I just you can't tell me that N'Kobe Dean did not add something to the field when he was out there. But I would say I get the philosophy. It just hurts knowing the we're kind of breaking up the band.
Right,
I
yeah.
don't know what Keely Ringo is going to do, but it seems like the Georgia band is being broken up at least a little bit.
Yeah, true. The reason I did not get myself emotionally attached to N'Kobe Dean this offseason because I kind of saw this happening.
Yeah.
With Jahad Campbell, and he actually played a little bit, remember, with N'Kobe Dean's injuries. So you saw him on the field. He looked pretty good, obviously still raw, but like lots of positives to work off of. And
Yeah.
I just knew that one of these teams with cap space was going to come in and just pay the guy probably more than we'd be willing to pay. And I think that's what happened here. 36 million over 3 years. It's just, it would be like, I kind of get it from Howie's perspective. 12 million a year for a guy where you have a really solid alternative
Right.
is a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
And I get it, but that doesn't mean I'm not sad because I am with you. I think we were better when he was in there. And
Agreed.
I think we're going to miss him.
I agree. Hey, Jake, let's talk about, now that I'm on the couch and feeling a little bit better, let's talk about some of the positives here. There's a big signing, and the Eagles secondary, while it is losing a very key piece in Reed
Yeah.
Blankenship, one that's going to be tough to replace, we just talked about, but it is gaining a big piece as well. And it might be, I think, an upgrade at outside corner. Jake, tell us about it.
Yeah, so Tariq Woolen, just a Pro Bowl corner from the Seahawks that, just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this had the second highest lockdown percentage in the NFL behind
Dang.
what's the guy from the Broncos, Surtain?
Yeah, Pat Surtain.
Yeah, Surtain.
Yep.
He was number one. So like, you're signing the next best thing to Surtain.
Yeah.
So like for a position that like we talked about it, we were just beating our heads against the wall
Oh my gosh.
in the beginning of the season because that second cornerback slot was just this like black hole
Yeah.
that points just went down there. Now I genuinely think we have a shot at being the best cornerback tandem in the league next
Yeah,
year,
I agree.
which is a big switch. It's so odd that you had arguably the best defense in the league last year, and we are seeing almost a complete 180. Like
Right.
all the edge rushers are gone, our star second linebacker's gone. But by the way, now you have this incredibly, talented second corner who we're paying $15 million 1 year. So this is like
Yeah.
here's a bunch of money. We want to win now.
Yep.
And after we win, you can go do whatever you want. So like respect in that regard. But I mean, it doesn't fit with the rest of the model is what's bothering me, right? We have
No.
we look at that what I view as a meager sum for Reed Blankenship and how he goes, no.
Can't do
We
it.
have a what I'd call like a middling deal for Nakobe Dean. He says no.
Mm-mm.
And then he goes, oh, here's a stud corner that we could probably address in the draft. We could move Cooper outside. No, here, take a bunch of
Boom.
money. Let's go win a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
It's just so weird. And
Yeah.
it makes you wonder, like, I thought for sure we were going to go corner in the draft again. I thought for sure. Now
Agreed.
I have no idea what the plan is.
It's got to be
I don't-
edge rusher, Jake. It's
Like,
got to be.
Are we going but like we've got a big old hole at offensive line.
Yeah, yeah.
That we at one point this offseason, Marshall, we thought we were going to be without Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson. So
Yeah.
we better get someone pretty talented on the O line.
Yeah.
We have zero edge rushers.
Zero.
We should address. We were apparently in for Trey Hendrickson before the Ravens I don't know,
Did what they did.
Yeah, whatever the heck that was. Like, saw a problem in the physical of Max Crosby,
Yes,
I guess.
yeah.
He looked pretty fine to me last year. I don't know what doctors
did.
they are employing.
It's the meniscus thing. Apparently, he had a procedure, and then they just didn't like the path that he was on. That's at least the party line from them. But his doctor then came out and said he's fine. I don't know what your problem is, but
Right. Like, if this was like a normal caliber, if this was Ogbo Okoronkwo, right? If that
Yeah.
was him and they were like, oh, we don't like this ligament in his knee, maybe we're going to cut him. You'd be like, oh, okay.
sure.
This is Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't
what
think
is
that he's gonna get back?
what are you
Yeah.
doing? So I don't know where that leaves him. I don't know if we'd be interested now that medical thing but we were in for Hendrickson. So apparently
Yeah.
Howie was ready to pay a bunch of money.
Yep.
Also, Lane Johnson tweeted at Max Crosby, which that was before the whole
It was,
thing came out
but
with the Ravens.
still.
What's that mean? That's weird.
I don't know.
It's the closest thing. Remember in high school when this stuff would happen? Be like, do you see that guy like that girl's post?
Right, right.
It's the closest thing in
Yeah.
adult life we have to that. Like, you guys
It
see
is.
Lane Johnson? He did the eyes emoji. That's a
At
pretty
Max
big
Crosby?
deal. Like, there are
I'm hearing
people
some
that,
things.
There are people on this planet that like get paid to go on television and be like, guys, did you see the eye emoji from Lane Johnson?
Yep.
And
Yep.
we don't get paid, and I'm gonna do it anyway because it is exciting. And sometimes I miss the high school goss. But maybe we make a big splash, which would really open things up in terms of like you don't need a round one draft pick at edge rusher. Then if you get like a Max Crosby, you can get some a veteran or like a guy that was a promising backup for another team you can get on the cheap. But as it stands right now, we've got nothing.
Yep.
Which is a little startling.
Scary, scary place to be. But
Yeah.
as we just talked about, the secondary, at least the cornerback position, getting stronger. I'm also curious, Jake, if the move to get rid of Reed Blankenship or not re-sign Reed Blankenship is a sign that the Eagles might, in fact, be trying to move Cooper DeJean into the safety position in the long term. Maybe not this
Right.
year, but in the long term, they see him as an asset at the safety position. I think that's a possibility.
It's a good call because when they signed Michael Carter last year, he profiles as the exact same guy.
Yep.
Like
Slot guy. Yeah.
slot guy through and through.
Mhm.
Probably doesn't have the speed to go outside, but he's really, really good at what he does. And I'm going, why did we bring him in? This doesn't make sense. He didn't really
Yeah.
play much last
didn't.
year. And maybe this was the plan all along. Maybe Howie had made this decision. I like at the beginning of last season, or at least partway through last season when they brought him in. Because again, why else do you bring? We all thought it was like, oh, this is to light a fire under that second cornerback position.
Right.
But again, he didn't really profile as an outside corner.
No,
So
he never did.
maybe this was the plan. Who knows?
I don't know. What I do know is that the Eagles have a lot of holes to fill,
True.
but they do not have a hole to fill on the defensive line, in the middle of the defensive line.
Amen.
The Eagles did make a move to keep Jordan Davis, the wonderful nose tackle, a 3-year, $78 million extension, Jake. It makes him the
Yeah.
highest paid defensive tackle in league history. And after the year that he had, a year that you called, Jake, I will give you credit for that. I
Yeah.
am not surprised by that figure. I can't be
No.
surprised by it.
There's one thing that does surprise me. Not, and it doesn't involve Jordan Davis at all. It involves the other defensive tackle we have.
Yes, yes,
So we've got Jalen Carter,
we do.
and he's
When
right
he
next
doesn't
to
spit on
him.
people, we have him.
Right, right. He's right next to him. Oh,
What do you do with him then in a couple years?
Right, like so is this just a commitment to like, hey, we're gonna move on from you when your deal's up? Are we gonna trade him right now? Because it's just a really weird thing to do right now.
It
If
is.
this happened, if Jalen Carter had another season where he was struggling with health and he spit on some more guys, I'd be like, oh, okay, I get this.
Right.
But like Carter was effective when he was in there.
He
He
was.
had the highest double team percentage in the league at one point last year. I don't know if he finished with it, but when he was healthy, he had the highest double team percentage in the
Yeah.
league. So that kind of explains why Jordan Davis was so effective.
Yeah.
I I question if what is it? I think he's got 2 years left. In
Mhm.
2 years, are we going to be going, man, I wish we didn't give Jordan Davis all that money because now that is the new measuring stick, right?
Yeah, it is.
This is the number for elite defensive tackles in a league
Yeah.
where there's not a lot of those.
No, you're
It
right.
must be said.
You're right. And the Eagles have a wealth there of
Right.
elite defensive tackles. And
Right.
and so I want to say two things here. Number one, I do agree that Jordan Davis's play and the quality of his play was ballooned by having Jalen Carter. He has benefited from having
Right.
Jalen Carter next to him. I don't doubt that, but I also will say in the games that Jalen Carter did not play, Jordan Davis
Still came up
raised
big.
his level of play.
Yeah,
Like
sure
Jordan
did.
Davis still was a run stuffer, still was getting pressure on the quarterback. I'm not going to take anything away from him because individually, the change that he made physically before the season and the impact that he made on the field, unmistakable. Now, on the back end of that, I think that the Eagles are not willing because Jordan Davis is a sure thing personality wise, because he's a sure thing locker room wise.
Right.
He commands a $78 million figure. Not only is he performing well on the field, but he is a steady player and
Yeah,
person. That's not something that you have gotten out of Jalen Carter to this point in his career. It may be something that he, grows up, matures, grows out of. He's still a
Right.
kid. I mean, he's a physically big guy, but he's still young. I mean, these are people trying to figure out their lives, and middle 20s. Sometimes you screw up, and sometimes you make decisions that you're actually gonna live to regret. He may
Right.
live to regret spitting on Dak Prescott. He may live to regret some of the other things that he's done.
Some of the dumb penalties he gives up that change games.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
but I think that because of that assessment of his character from the Eagles locker room, I think they see him right now as a bit more of a question mark, and they
Yeah.
see him as a guy they can't necessarily put a high dollar amount on right now. And if they've got him under contract, we'll keep him under contract until we really need to address it. How do you feel?
Right. Right. About the same.
Yeah.
I am a little worried because I really think Jalen Carter, like, it's weird to give. If you just said pick one or the other, I'd pick Jalen Carter.
Yeah,
So
I
it
agree.
feels weird to give the other guy the extension. But to your point, all of those things are true. Jordan Davis has never cost us a game with a stupid penalty. Jordan Davis has never missed an entire game because he spit on the opposing quarterback
Right.
right before the start of the game. Like,
Yeah. in the
These
first
are
game of the year.
right, yeah, right, against our hated rivals.
Yeah.
So like these are things that you are absolutely right about. Um, it still feels a little weird to me. I take solace in the silver lining that in addition to the possibility that we might screw ourselves over in the future, we are certainly screwing over the New York Giants
Yep.
because Dexter Lawrence is just sitting there waiting
Hey,
for a new deal.
where's my money?
And the Giants have so far been very hesitant to give him that. And now we just went, here are all the chips. You
Yep.
want to keep Dexter? You better pay him, and you
Yep.
better pay him a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it, I almost this is a very like sad dark side of the moon version of an outlook that I have. I'd rather watch the Giants not get Dexter Lawrence than us keep Jalen Carter. You know what I mean? It would make me
Yeah.
so much happier if Dexter Lawrence leaves.
Yeah.
Because like I'm pretty confident we'll find somebody else. You know, we can get somebody else. But the Giants might not find another Dexter Lawrence, and that makes
Yeah.
me really happy.
Yes. Also, uh, why would the Giants ever, not commit to a long-term big money contract for a player that's important to them? I mean, that's never backfired before,
Yeah,
Jake.
it's never bitten them in the butt before. Every time it just they nail it. Oh man, that poor organization.
Hey, at least we're not in the what is it, 12, 13 year playoff drought that the Giants are in, or no,
Yeah.
well, I guess not playoff drought because they did make the playoffs with
Playoff win drought.
Playoff
Yeah.
win drought. Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because we teamed up with the Commanders. That one that was pretty fun. Do you remember that?
Yep.
We were Doug Peterson yanks our starters.
Yep. Beautiful. Just poetic.
I don't like that I enjoy that kind of stuff so much, but I just isn't it fun when your rivals suffer? It's just so fun. I
Jalen
love
Hurts
it.
was playing in that game. Doug just said, you know what? All right, get in there,
Right.
Sudfeld.
Yeah, right. This is why I have a confession to make. I play fantasy football, and I have a rule where I don't draft Eagles,
Hmm.
and I draft a ton of Cowboys,
Yeah.
and to some extent Giants and Commanders, but mostly Cowboys.
Yeah.
Because my thinking is, on any given weekend, I'm either going to win in fantasy because the Cowboys did well,
Right.
or I'll lose in fantasy, but then the Cowboys lost. So
Right.
there's always something to smile
Yes.
about
Always
every
positives.
Sunday.
Yep.
And that I'm not proud to admit it, but that's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is, folks.
Yeah.
Hey, let's switch over to the diamond because there's some
Yeah.
action on the Phillies roster and some action out in the World Baseball Classic, Jake.
Yeah. So we'll get to the real fills in a bit, but we need to talk about the World Baseball Classic and what might be the biggest upset of that tournament. Team Italy just took our lunch,
Mm-hmm.
8-6. And if you were like, "Oh, Nola's pitching," I'd be like, "Oh, okay." He wasn't.
Yeah.
So we got beat by I mean, our prospects playing for Team Italy, so that's nice. But other than that, like a bunch of guys that shouldn't really hold a candle to Team USA
You would think not. Yeah.
took our lunch money.
Mm-hmm.
So the situation that we find ourselves in is we have a very real chance of not advancing now. One thing that could guarantee our advance is if Team Italy goes and beats Mexico. Guess who's pitching against Mexico, Marshall?
Is it Aaron Nola?
Aaron Nola.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So, as Philly fans, we're used to it. But now the entire country has to watch Aaron Nola and pray he performs.
Yes.
And everyone's about to get a lesson in the Aaron Nola experience.
It's going to be a
Because
ride.
if it's anything like his normal outings, he's gonna be like, 3 straight 1-2-3 innings, and then something horrible is gonna happen. And the only saving grace might be that they might yank him before that happens. It seems like a lot of the other teams are keeping their starters in for only 3 to 4 innings.
Mm-hmm.
But you wonder if Team Italy, how much bullpen help does Team Italy really have?
Probably not great
Are they
help.
going to let him go longer? It's getting later in the spring. Maybe they're going to let him, throw a few more innings.
Right. Can we get to
Ah,
5, 6 innings? Maybe.
right, right. And you also need Team Italy to hit. Um, there is one Phillies prospect on there, Dante Nori, who is lighting it up out of nowhere. Two home
Hmm.
runs, four RBIs, hitting 500
Let's
for Team
go.
Italy. So that's great. But we need to talk about one of the reasons Team Italy beat us, Marshall.
Yep.
And that is that Brad Keller has a comeback double play ball
Hmm.
that was pretty routine,
Yep.
and he tosses it into the outfield. Italy goes on to score. Then they tack on two more with a sac fly and a wild pitch. So he
Shades of
allowed
Kirkering out there.
right, right. It's like this. We only just got him, so
Yeah.
it's you can't. It's not Matt Strahm. You can't blame the lack of infield defensive practice. But
No.
I get this. He's got 2 runs scored against him with 0 hits. No hits allowed.
Wonderful.
So
Hey.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Phillies. This is the kind of stuff that happens to us. Other
Yeah.
Team USA guys I want to touch on, kind of two sides of our star-studded coin here. Schwarber hitting 375,
Love that.
a dinger,
Yeah. A big
typical
dinger
Schwarber.
too. Yeah.
Right, yeah, in a clutch moment.
Yeah.
Harper is hitting 200
That's not great.
and having some timely strikeouts
Yeah.
and outs. Um,
Yeah.
I was I was really hoping that this was going to be the start of this breakout kind of like revenge tour against Dave Dombrowski. Like, I'm the guy. You
Right.
said I didn't have it. I'm that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
We haven't
Maybe
gotten that so
maybe
far.
Dave's right. Yikes.
I want Dave to be wrong on
Me
this one.
too. Me too.
But
But
I'm kind of with you. I don't know. Maybe and this is the tough part with the World Baseball Classic, right? Because spring training is such like a low pressure environment.
oh, of course.
If Harper was doing this in spring training, I don't think
Whatever.
anyone would care, right? Yeah,
No.
we'd just be like, yeah, it's spring. But
Yeah.
because the lights are on,
Hmm.
the opponents are better.
Stands are full. Yeah.
Right, right. I take it as more of an indicator for what the regular season is going to be like, and I
Hmm.
don't like what I'm seeing, Marshall.
I don't either. Yeah, I mean, Schwarber's obviously been a bright spot and he's been really consistent, but yeah, Harp it just doesn't look like he's going up there with passion. I don't know. He's not going up there with the same zest that we've seen from Bryce Harper. You have to remember, like, this guy's he's getting a little bit older, and this kind of like generation of Juan Soto and the kind of upstart kids they're like in their 30s. I mean, these are not young guys
Yeah,
anymore. You wonder how much longer, a guy like Harper is going to be in the kind of pinnacle, the peak of his
that elite
career.
tier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there were signs of decline really in the last couple years. I don't think that he's performed as well in the playoffs that we saw. Even 2022 was obviously a great run for him, right? He looked like the guy in 2022. I just you haven't seen that last year. We needed him in big spots, and he did not show up in big spots. I hope that doesn't continue, but there's something off a little bit with him. I don't know if he needs to adjust his swing or if he needs it's just the timing doesn't look right with him.
yeah. Bunch of speaking of guys that don't look right, Christopher Sanchez had an up and down outing for the Dominican Republic. Made history actually. World Baseball Classic first. He struck out 4 guys in an inning,
Yeah.
which is classic. The old drop third strike that they couldn't
Right.
convert the out on. So he struck out 4 in an inning, but he was getting hit around a little bit, very un Christopher Sanchez like, not what we're used to. But some good news, Marshall. Taiwan Walker went the other way.
Right.
3 1/3 shutout innings. Got a win for Team Mexico. Uh, Give me more of that, please, because it looks like at least at the beginning of the season, he's almost a lock for this rotation for
I
opening
think
day.
so. Yeah, I think you're right. We worry about Taiwan Walker. I think that there are moments where he really shines and he shows what kind of stuff he can have. And there were moments last year where he was able to step up in some games. But I think it's hard for me. Yes, the lights are brighter, and this is a bigger atmosphere or what have you. But it's hard for me to really know how that translates to the players. Like they might actually just see
Right.
this as kind of like a vacation. They might see this as
Yeah,
kind of
right.
like like, oh, we get to, I get to go
Different
like
spring
parade around.
training.
Yes, it's like sort of like a country-based all-star game. That's, I mean, it's,
Right.
you're just dividing up into your nationalities as opposed to being on a baseball squad for
Right.
a major league team. And so it's hard for me at times to be like, yeah, that's going to be an indicator. That's not going to be an indicator because it
Right.
seems like it's almost a player by player question. Is like, how serious are you taking it? Do you really care about this? Because it's,
Right.
I know it's a trophy. It's a trophy, but I don't think it's the goal. Like nobody sets out and it's like, man, I won 3 World Baseball Classics. Like that's crazy,
Yeah,
like
that won't get you into the Hall of Fame. I hate to break it to you,
exactly,
but yeah.
exactly. So yeah, but I think, you know, promising signs from Taiwan, and but again, with Christopher Sanchez, like I just all of these reactions, I want to keep like put a grain of salt with
Right,
all of them
right.
because you just don't really know how it's gonna translate to the season. Although I will give you the credit and just say like it's probably more of an indicator than spring training.
Right, right, right. So that we don't have to wrestle with these questions too much, we'll end on two guys that are having what I would call very typical performances for them.
Yeah.
Edmundo Sosa, hitting 250,
Okay.
5 strikeouts.
Yep.
Typical. Yeah, he's
Yep.
either going to strike out or he's going to get on base. There's no
Mm-hmm.
in between.
Mm-hmm.
And then Garrett Stubbs. I love Garrett. I want to, in the interest of being a transparent and objective journalist, I want to let everyone know I love Garrett Stubbs. I think he's awesome. I
Yeah.
really want him to be on the opening day roster. But here's what our guy's doing for Team Israel.
Let's go. Hit me with the
One
stats.
for 13.
Let's go.
That one is a triple. It's just like it's the most like erratic baseball player that's ever played. He's a catcher, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. He's also like pretty quick. He likes to bunt. Like he's just a weird baseball
He
player.
is. He's
I really
strange.
don't think there's ever been one like him. I don't think there's going to be another one like him.
Mm-mm.
So I just love that guy. I don't care that he doesn't hit. I every September when he gets called, or not every September, last September when he got called back up,
Mm-hmm.
I just felt happier watching the games because there were
Yeah.
cutaways to him in the
Right.
dugout, like waving towels and stuff. I just love that guy.
You just want to see him in his overalls again,
And yeah, right,
in the
right.
dugout, and
I want to segue this into something kind of sad. So there, Johan Rojas
yeah,
goes and gets himself suspended for performance enhancing drugs.
which really helped him at the plate, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say our friend Garrett, who loves Barry Bonds inexplicably,
Yes.
made a great point in that this is a huge case to get Barry Bonds into the Hall of Fame because
Yeah.
if Johan Rojas and Max Kepler too
Yeah, true.
were both taking performance enhancing drugs last year, maybe they don't help that much.
No, they might not.
There might be
Yeah.
something to be said.
Hand-eye
We're,
coordination
we're,
still matters, apparently.
we're joking, but only a little.
Yeah.
But so he goes and gets himself suspended. So now there's an opening day roster spot. This Keaton Anthony kid, he's like our number 16 prospect. He's not really hitting great, but we were giving him outfield time with the starters. So I'm going, oh, maybe this kid's gonna play. Then he goes and breaks his foot
Of course.
on Monday, which is
Yeah.
just typical. Almost certainly, and he needs surgery. It's not like a hairline fracture or anything.
Yeah.
So, almost certainly will start back in the minors. That's sad, but what we need to touch on is who's gonna get that last roster spot.
Right.
There's Dylan Moore, who's been playing pretty well this spring. He's a utility guy. Topper has said that's something he looks for.
Mm-hmm.
Do you stack another arm out in the bullpen? That's a possibility.
Maybe.
Do you bring back Garrett Stubbs and go with the 3 catcher thing? The Yankees did that last year.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's a weird one.
Jake, is Otto Campbell lock?
Otto Kemp, like I kind of factored Otto Kemp as he's going to be in there.
Okay.
It was kind of now true
Because he's been playing well
if
in spring training.
yeah, and especially now, like
Yeah.
now that there's kind of two open roster spots, I gotta figure Kemp's in there.
Yeah.
It would be really interesting if he wasn't, because then you're going, what is Topper gonna do now? But I was kind of operating under the assumption he's in there. Who else?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it's probably going to be a bullpen arm if I'm a betting man.
Yeah.
Knowing the stars that we have in this roster, the people are going to be stepping up to the plate for this team. I would think that there are some more question marks in the bullpen than there are on the field. An Adolis Garcia, Brandon Marsh, Justin Crawford, they're going to be in there. Stoddard, Bohm. I mean, these are like the kind of solid pieces in places. The thing
Right.
that we're going to have to look out for, and the thing that they're going to have to fend against going forward is if there's a stinker from Taiwan Walker, what do you do? If
Right.
there's a stinker from Aaron Nola, what do you do?
Right.
Being able to reach deeper into a bullpen, I think is going to be important before, that period of time where we can get wheels back in this pitching rotation again. Then things are a lot more solidified. So I think it's a pitcher, but do you think it could be a position player, Jake?
I just have this feeling it's going to be Dylan Moore.
Okay.
Uh, for one reason, and it's that the Phillies have always had like a guy with some pop that they can turn to off the bench.
Hmm.
And last year we didn't really have that,
Yeah.
and I think we missed it. Like there
Yeah.
were a couple spots where you were like, remember the good old days with Matt Stairs?
I was
Like
literally going to
where
say Matt Stairs, Jake. I
right,
was
where
going
you're
to
just
say him.
like it's the eighth inning, you're down two, there's a guy on first.
Yep.
We're all like, put Matt Stairs in.
Yep.
He's either gonna strike out or he's gonna hit it to the moon.
Yep.
And there were a couple of situations that happened just like that last year.
Yeah.
And you look on the bench and you got like Otto
Weston
Kemp.
Wilson.
Right. You don't have like that bopper.
Yeah.
Dylan Moore's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he's played in big moments. He's played a lot of like starting baseball. I feel like they brought him in with the intention, almost like the hope that he would play well in spring training.
Right.
He has played well. I don't think you bring that kind of caliber player in and then don't bring him up when he
Yeah.
plays well. I just think he's destined for this opening day roster. Especially, I thought they might have had a case for him without with Rojas in.
Yeah.
But now
Fair
that
enough.
he's gone, I think it's almost
Pretty
a
much a
lock.
lock.
I was worried for Otto Kemp, realistically, with Rojas still in. I thought maybe
Right.
Dylan Moore might take Kemp's spot.
I think Kemp is solidified now. I agree with you
Right.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
I could see that. I could see that too. My concern, as I stated, was just purely we don't know yet necessarily what we have in this bullpen.
I think you're
Yeah.
right, honestly. And if I'm the coach, I actually think I kind of lean your way because there's also Edmundo Sosa.
Mm-hmm.
So like now, if what I think happens, you got three utility guys.
Right.
And in terms of outfield depth, none of them are really like outfielders.
True.
They can all play there.
They can do it.
but
Right.
but they're not like, everyday outfielders.
Yeah.
So that's why like before Dummy went and got himself suspended, I was thinking, oh, Rojas will definitely make it. Kemp probably makes it, but maybe Moore comes in and unseats him.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think you gotta like have this like utility soup in the dugout,
Right.
and just kind of whoever is hitting, just put him in left. Which
Right.
I don't know if that's a winning strategy, but it looks like that's what we're gonna have to do at least for the first 80 games while Dummy sits on his couch and hopefully gets clean from his steroids or whatever
Hopefully.
he was taking.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake. Let's finish it out. We're talking pitchers. Let's finish it out with some good news for the Phils. I think
Yes.
good news, and I think some well-deserved payoff for a player that really overperformed last year, and that
for
is
sure.
Jesus Luzardo. Gets a massive extension. Jake, 5 years.
Yeah.
Is that too
20
long?
I the Phils love doing this, don't we? Like we just love like these huge long contracts.
Yeah.
And I kind of like them for hitters because I feel like hitting doesn't go away as quickly as your arm.
Hmm.
Um the one thing I will say, Luzardo's not like a fireballer, which
Yep.
plays like the longevity card much better than a guy like a Dylan Cease, like a guy who hits 98, 99 consistently because like 5 years from now, chances are he's probably not going to be able to sustain that. Luzardo might be able to sustain his
Yeah.
95-ish. Um, and to your point, when we got him from the Marlins, he was like a wild card. We didn't really know what we were getting. He had some solid performances for the Marlins, but he wasn't lighting the world on fire.
Yeah.
Last year, became one of the better left-handed pitchers in baseball.
I agree.
Unfortunately, wasn't even the best on our team because we had Christopher Sanchez. But it was like we were talking about, ironically, with the nose tackle discussion. Like lefties are not, they don't grow on trees. There's
No,
not like a ton of
no,
really good left-handed pitchers out there.
you're right.
So we did it with Christopher Sanchez, and I think they just kept the playbook. Like, we got another good lefty. I don't want to talk about this, but I'm gonna say it. We're probably getting locked out next year.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
salary cap might go poof.
It might.
Um,
Ugh.
or the
The Dodgers
luxury
are
tax,
acting like
sorry.
it, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
right. The luxury. So I should have said the luxury tax, not the salary cap. Maybe there will be a salary cap. Who knows?
Could be.
But I think they were just like, this is the last like off season where we know what's going to happen,
Right.
what the rules are.
Right.
Let's lock them down
Yeah.
forever.
Yep. Yep.
and
For the rest of his
know
usable
that,
life.
yeah, right, exactly. Like, and just know that coming out of whatever the heck's going to happen next season, if there's even baseball, that we're going to have a guy, uh, two guys on the other side of it in the form of Christopher Sanchez and Luzardo now
Yeah.
that you can depend on. And listen, I think he earned it. I think last year he pitched
agree.
great. He was this like one of the only guys that you kind of knew what you were going to get. Like
Right.
he wasn't going to throw 8 shutout innings, but he wasn't going to let up a crooked number. And that's a really comforting feeling for baseball fans. So money well spent in theory.
135, 5 years. That's a big mark.
Makes him one of the highest paid lefties in baseball, by the
Yeah.
way. It's not like it's a solid no, this is like S tier
Yes.
contract stuff, especially in terms of like I said, the left-handed market.
And I love to see the players, at the press conference and
That was
cheering them
cool,
on.
wasn't it?
That
That
was
was
fun.
really cool. That's like one of those baseball is a lot different than other sports in that regard, where it's like because they spend every day together.
Right.
It really is a family. That was a really really cool moment. I'm happy for him.
I am too. But that I think, Jake, the plan from this offseason, if we're reviewing things, may have been Jesus has to stay, and we're okay letting Ranger walk and get a bigger contract.
Right. Well, and
because you
that's
couldn't have
exactly what happened.
you couldn't have paid both of them, especially
Right.
with how much Ranger commanded.
Right.
So I history will tell us in the future if this was the right move, picking Luzardo kind of over Ranger. But I don't know.
The one I will say,
The lefty thing matters.
Ranger showed a worrying downward trend every year. Like he'd
Yeah.
start off insane, and then by the end of the year, his velocity would dip, his command would falter, and Luzardo didn't show that.
Yeah.
And again, if they were operating under the assumption we want to lock this guy down for 5 years,
Yeah.
they made the right call.
Yeah.
If they were looking at like a 3-year deal, I think maybe the pendulum swings back to Suarez, but Luzardo's a little younger. He's got a better track record in terms of longevity throughout the season. I think they made the right call, at least if this was the plan all along.
Yeah. Yeah. And you saw them go to him, Luzardo, in those big spots in the playoffs.
Right.
The Dodgers series ended really with Luzardo holding it down until Kerkering came in,
Right.
and got them through that game away, literally.
Yeah.
Brad Keller
Sad.
and Kerkering, kindred spirits, those two.
It's a shot, but it's a warranted shot.
It is. Well, hey, we got a lot more baseball coming up real soon, and we are very near the Phillies' actual season starting.
2 weeks.
2 weeks to go.
2 weeks.
Until true baseball that matters. We'll continue to watch the rest of the World Baseball Classic, but yeah, we will see you then. We're not 100% sure when we'll be back, but we will be back for sure.
And we will be back for the love of Broad Street.